Welcome to Willow Glen in Motion. My name is Kevin C. Swanson, and I'll be your host. Today is part 2 of our special series, where we are looking deeper into the programs and opportunities offered by San Jose State University and how they impact the Willow Glen community. San Jose State provides bachelor's and master's degrees in more than 130 areas of study. As one of the top research universities in the nation, San Jose State University offers rigorous coursework and research opportunities in more than 30,000 undergraduate and graduate students in 7 colleges every year. Aviation campus that covers over 5 acres at San Jose International Airport. The only campus in the CSU system that offers graduate and undergraduate degrees in nuclear science. A research foundation that provides partnerships with over 200 different programs like NASA, National Science Foundation, the Department of Education, Kaiser Permanente, Roche Diagnostics, and many others. Let's take a look at the programs and organizations that are available to the students, alumni, and the Willow Glen community. Now we'd like to bring you a little more on the student experience, and we happen to grab one walking by. We have the Associated Student President and CEO of AS Incorporated. Tomasz, welcome.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
So, first of all, I understand Associate Student President, but what is CEO of AS Incorporated?
Well, that's a question everybody asks. The position has 2 components. So the first one, my position description says President of the student body and the CEO. So the President, it's involved all the campus activities, anything that relates to students, and the CEO is involved at the corporate side of the Associated Students, which is a 503 nonprofit organization of close to $7 million budget.
Really?
That sounds right.
So that's you said a student organization, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So what does AS Inc. do for the campus?
So there are 9 departments of AS, including. So how I see it is AS. So we can divide it into associated students. That's the correct name.
Okay.
And I also divide it into AS, which is advocacy, which is the president part, and services. Services would be all the services we provide, and the corporate side is services of AS.
Okay.
So those include the print shop, the computer services, the transportation solutions, child development center, general services, recreation, events, and so forth.
Okay. And you guys are responsible for all those, control all of those, you collect the revenues
Yes.
for all those, responsible for the expenses.
Right.
Now, are these profit centers for you?
Some of them. For example, print shop has some kind of brings some revenue to but it's a non-profit, so usually the idea is that there isn't any profit.
Right.
So it's a non-profit service for students. For example, the transportation solutions is a contract with ZTA, the Valley Transportation. It's about $1 million contract to provide all the students with transportation in the Valley. So they receive what's called EcoPass. I'm sure you're familiar with that.
Yeah.
And they receive it at the beginning of the semester, and they can use it, travel anywhere around the Valley for free.
On VTA?
On VTA.
Yeah. Now, in order to provide these services, you have to have, I guess, a lot of people who work for Associated Students.
True. The number is 200 people, 200 employees. They're not all full-time employees, but the full number is about 200 people. So it consists, every department has a manager, which is a full-time employee, and we also have who's called executive director. So we have 3 executives, student executives, which is president, myself, vice president, and controller, and then the executive director, which is a full-time staff position. It's her name is Cheryl Vargas. She has experience in nonprofits for many years. She holds a master's degree, so it's a full-time position.
Now, this sounds like a great organization that provides services for students, by students.
Right.
You're providing jobs for students on campus.
Right.
Is this a fairly unique program on campuses?
I believe so. Actually, the CSU system Most of the schools have this structure, so it's Associated Students Incorporated. Depends on the budget. Some ASs own their student union. For example, East Bay, CSU East Bay, so Cal State East Bay, they own their student union. Some smaller campuses, for example, Channel Islands, it's only 3,000 students, so their budget is about $20,000. So it varies among the system.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So you're also the president of the Associate Students,
Right.
Which provides other activities for the students. What is it exactly that office does?
It's the official student's voice on campus. So I serve currently, it's a big number too again, I serve on 17 committees, university committees. So starting with the Executive Senate and Academic Senate. There's also other representatives from AS, but I serve on probably the biggest number of those, which keeps me busy. So that's the official student voice at the university level with the administration.
You also go to school here, correct?
I do.
Yeah, in between all of these things,
right,
you
right.
fit in some homework somewhere.
Somewhere, yeah. At 7:30. I never knew that there could be meetings at 7:30 a.m. before I started, but now I came to understand that this time exists. So I do. It's recommended that Associated Students is a part-time student, so up to 12 units.
Yeah.
So they don't go more than that,
Yeah.
which might conflict with their job.
Right. Now, you are an international student as well, aren't
Correct.
you? Yeah. Where are you from?
I'm originally from Poland, Warsaw, Poland, and so that means, I actually mentioned that at the convocation speech, I've traveled, according to Google Maps, about 7,000 miles to be at this university.
Why? I mean, why San Jose State?
There's many reasons. First one is the excellence of education you can receive at San Jose State. There's a great tradition. I mean, this university, Tower Hall, was established 153 years ago. 150, so a century and a half, 153 to be exact. So there's a great tradition of excellence in academia, so I was brought by this, so the business department specifically, because that's my major. And also the environment. We're in the heart of Silicon Valley, so there's lots of job opportunities, and as I sometimes tell people, Silicon Valley can become your classroom.
Yeah.
A place where you can gain, experience, all sorts of experience in any major.
Are there a lot of international students here at San Jose State?
There are. We're actually #1 in the nation in master's degree institutions. So, and we're also 6th most diverse campus on the west of the United States. So that's actually one of the reasons as well. It's the great diversity on our campus, which is also added value to the great education you receive.
Well, Tomasz, I want to thank you for taking the time to
It's my pleasure.
come out here and spend a little bit of time educating us on the associate students, student life, and also sharing with us about the international students on campus here at San Jose State. It makes San Jose State a very unique place.
Certainly, it was my pleasure. Thank you very much.